Hi there, you join me today with a maintenance issue I have with my sump pump. So this is what happens when you decide to do all the maintenance yourself, and yeah, you end up in some tight spaces because if I was a bit thinner I wouldn't have an issue with this, but behind my generator here is, and right down below, right next to the air conditioning pump, is my sump pump. It's a wonderful pump, works very well, except that every now and again it has a fault with some valves which deteriorate through basically bad manufacturing. So it's a Jabsco pump, and here it's these little blighters. They're just little rubber valves, and they're held on by a little rivet. You see the rivet? No, you don't see the rivet. And what happens is, this is what I've just taken out. The rubber comes away from the cage, and it just doesn't pump anymore. So the pump runs and no water flows. So today's task is, I've got spares, is to change the valves. I'm going to keep the old ones because I'm going to put a new rivet in, because I'm not going to pay for new ones when they're not that old and they keep failing. So anyway, I carry spares for this very reason. But today's problem is that it's down here, down the side of my generator. So it's a case of access, and painful access at that. Okay, so this is our generator. It's in later models of this boat, this generator is moved forward, giving more than, well, it's not even a foot clearance between the enclosure for the generator and the bulkhead there. In later models, this generator is moved this way, and you can get easy access to the pump. So what I have to do to make space for myself is basically take just unclip the walls and take the vertical supports off from the enclosure. So yeah, there you go there, and but now it gives me just enough room to squeeze against these very sharp threaded bolts to here. And you see down there we have an air conditioning pump, and there is a sump pump. That's a disassembled pump. That's the top half of the pump, and there, those two holes where you see the water, that's where the two rubber valves sit. It's that simple, really. The noise you can hear is this air conditioning pump running, because we're currently in Cowes on the Isle of Wight, and it's 30 degrees outside, so I'm sweltering upstairs. Well, not sweltering, I'm sweltering down here, but it's nice and cool upstairs, and I should be out there in the sun. Instead, I'm mending a sump pump. Anyway, let's try and locate that. There we go. And it's held on by these 11mm bolts. So I suppose you can see a lot here, but I tell you what, why don't I just fix this, and then when I've done, I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah, it's quite tight, as you can see. Anyway, so with this pump, it's a good pump. It pumps quite a lot of solid material if you need it to, not like an ordinary sump pump. So change it to a different type at your peril, because if you have any solids that get past your filter, or you have a blocked filter and you need to pump, this thing can cope with all the crud that you find in the bottom of your bilge. It's very handy for that. So it's a good pump for pumping semi-solid waste as well. If it doesn't run, it's normally these valves. The other problem you might have with this pump is, if you come to this pump and it's not pumping and it's running and there's water all around it, what it means is this rubber seal here has gone. This oval membrane, this rubber membrane on top of underneath the plunger. So all we have really is a motor which runs, which drives this tooth belt, and there's like an offset crank, which basically pushes a piston up and down. If I turn it, you can see. There you go. You should see the piston going up and down very slowly. Any water around there means you've got a split in the seal. Okay, so always carry basically a spare tooth belt, spare oval plunger seal, and a couple of the spare round rubber valve, one-way valves. And then this pump lasts your lifetime. Anyway, that's enough of today's video, because I'm getting cramped here, and if you seize up, you can't back out of this hole. So yep, job's done. So yep, great. Until next year. And there you go. They are all back together now, and you can see how tight that is down there without moving the without moving the sound shield. There'd be no way of getting me down that hole.